I must be mad. I must be bloody well mad. Who else does this kind of thing to save a 21-year-old Clio? 22. It's almost 22. Right. It's currently 7:20. I've got 20 minutes to get to the park and ride and catch my bus to the airport. Let's do this. Of course, I had to start the day with a Renault automatic just to set the tone. Bye. So the car I've come to London for on this beautiful sunny day is a 1999 Renault Clio 1.6 Initiale. I saw a post on the Renault Owners Club on Facebook saying that this car was going to be scrapped this coming weekend. It's got 31,000 miles on it. The last owner has had it 20 years. Lives in Belgravia in London. Of course it had to be an Initiale. You couldn't have a lesser model Clio in Belgravia. The ULEZ zone is expanding, so this car doesn't comply and it would cost a fortune to keep going. And driving the thing every day, there'd be a daily charge. It's got a few little issues to work through, but it's the colour I wanted. It's automatic, it's leather, it's got wood. Yeah, I had to save it. Hopefully it's worthwhile. Currently battling London traffic, which is what this car has done its whole life. Apparently its average MPG readout from probably never having been reset for the last 20 years was 17 miles per gallon. That tells you what kind of traffic this car's been contending with its whole life. Proper London car. Well, here it is. Was it worth getting up at 6 AM this morning after a little too much wine last night and suffering a lot of public transport, a plane? Yes, it was. Here it is. 1999 Renault Clio 1.6 Initiale automatic in Goodwood green with dune leather. So as I said before, this is a London car, so it's seen better days cosmetically, but just look at that interior. Oh my god, and yes, it smells as good as it looks. That's definitely its good side over that side. The alloy wheels I thought would have been a whole lot more corroded than they are, but they're actually pretty decent. It's all about that badge. Let's do its bad side. So it's obviously had a replacement bumper that hasn't been painted. That needs done. And then it's got a few battle scars. So this plastic wing was taped up to get through MOT from the sharp edges. There's a few dents down that side. It's missing the crucial Initiale badge on this side. But overall, I mean, for having spent that amount of time in the depths of London, it's not done too badly at all. Even the rear passengers get a little slice of wood on the door trim. Rear headrests. It smells like my Laguna Monaco did. Renault's leather must have this distinct smell as it ages. Garment carry, of course, for one's jacket, which I can put this into because I'm totally unsuitably dressed for today's weather in London. So on the brief drive here, the gearbox light did come on as it was going to, We know these DPO gearboxes by now with their sticky solenoids, so I just take it gingerly until it warms up. I'm hoping that light's going to clear when I start it again, and we're good to head north up to the Midlands. There really is absolutely no mistaking this as a range topper. Original book pack, all the stuff in there, a folder of service history with the brochure at the front of it. It's all from a Renault specialist independent. There's loads of stuff such as a new catalytic converter, gear change cable, regas the aircon, top engine mount. Just look at this. It's fantastic. And of course, before I embark on my journey, even the most modestly priced models in the Clio range have a big car feel. But there's one version which feels not simply like a big car, but like a luxurious, no expense spared limousine, and that's the lavishly equipped 1.6 litre 90 brake horsepower Clio Initiale. Off we go. So when the gearbox drops into safe mode, it puts on this light, and it's in third gear all the time. So when you move off, it's quite sluggish. I mean, it's perfectly drivable, and it picks up pace fine once you've made that initial move off. And then you just turn the car off. Wait a few seconds. I'm well used to doing this. I've had loads of experience with this gearbox. It's character, it's not a fault. Turn it back on again. Everything resets. And we are good to go. Until the next hill. No, but I'm joking, it's not that bad yet. What a happy little car. Very comfortably sitting at 70. Gearbox light's gone now that it's warmed up. What a great place to be. I can't believe how well this thing drives. The fact that it was going to be driven to its death into a scrapyard is a mortal sin. It's got 31,000 miles on it. I have had loads of these Clios over the years, but never one that drives like this. It is tight as a drum. The steering, it doesn't pull to the left or right. There is not a single noise from it. Everything is free of wear. It feels like driving a new Clio out of the showroom must have done back in 1999. It's superb. The engine feels extremely healthy. The gearbox, now that it's warmed up, is changing beautifully in this M1 traffic. It's just a really nice place to be. I could sit over there to eat this, but why would I when I've got a view like this and seats like these? Fantastic. Sorry, 161.9. Now it's 23 degrees here, and you'll notice my windows are up, my sunroof shut, and it is positively chilly in here. The air conditioning is ice cold. There's something amazing about a car this age when you get in and the AC is ice cold. It kind of speaks volumes about how it's been maintained. That is the West Bromwich Albion ground, which means the little Clio made it. less pleasant motorway trips in far more modern cars. So I just covered 118 miles on the motorway, and I have to say, besides a lack of cruise control and maybe a bit more wind and road noise than you would get in a bigger car, there's nothing I missed. The seats are really comfortable. This adjusts for height and for lumbar. It has the convex mirror so you don't have a blind spot. It was completely confident, plenty of power, kept up with modern traffic, no problem. And check this out for MPG. That is incredible. Okay, it was running on motorway service station liquid gold, but I'd say the run's done this car real good. My plan for this particular car, given that I have so many unique and special cars already back home and I have no need for it whatsoever, is to keep it in Birmingham. I'm over here about 5-6 times a year, so I figure it's going to be perfect for driving around the city, going to look at other cars. It'll be great to have this car here to actually look forward to coming over and using. But the next time I plan to be over is probably about the beginning of November. The MOT on this car is up on the 22nd of October, so given how well it drove yesterday, I called by my mechanic that I use here and I booked it in for an MOT this morning. So fingers crossed, that's where we're heading. You're gonna do me good. It is just the perfect inner city car. It just loves it. It's so happy. And in an hour's time, it will hopefully have proved itself to have been an even better purchase than I already think it was. Let's see. We're here getting a tyre on the back of it. Needed one brake light bulb, one tyre on the back. It's all cracked with age, so once that's on it, we should have a pass certificate. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Oh, fantastically.
So here she is, and it's officially been declared mission success. 48 hours after picking it up. It's driven me up to Birmingham in a heap of comfort. It's attracted loads of fans on social media, and it's just passed its MOT. All for less than 500 quid. Well, if I have to factor in my flights back home again and things like that, it's a little over, but it's still a bargain. This car just has such a personality, and you have to wonder whether schemes such as these ULEZ and clean inner city zones are robbing people of their personality and freedom of choice of what car they want to drive. I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but like, come on, an elderly woman living in Knightsbridge driving a Clio like this for 20 years? A total dying breed, and cars like this just have such character behind them that you have to wonder is ever going to be replaced. Now, it's very common for this DPO gearbox to have sticky solenoids, which obviously involves removing the gearbox and opening it up. Having looked through the stacks of service history with this car, there's actually no evidence of a fluid change, so I think I'd like to try that first, just see how the gearbox responds to that. But I mean, as I was told and as I have now seen, it's only really for your first journey when it's cold. The first kind of incline you hit, it puts that light on and it goes into safe mode. But once you do that switch off, switch on routine and you drive it gingerly until it warms up, it's pretty much fine. It didn't do it the whole way up on my journey from London, so it's only really the first journey of the day that you need to be a bit delicate with this car. Considering this car is from 1999, the level of equipment is just hard to believe. For a car of this class, nothing would have come close. Wood on the dash, leather interior, air conditioning, electric sunshine roof, electric windows in the front, electric mirrors, CD changer under the driver's seat, The charity shop was kind to me today. If ever there was a Clio Initiale album, this is it. Can't do this with a lesser Clio. But one of my favourite features, and I'm not sure whether it's specific to the Initiale, but I have an option of 3 horn buttons. I've had loads of these Clios and I can't remember having the option of 3 buttons. They really should have made 3 separate notes. It would have been brilliant. I will never get bored of looking into what looks like an unassuming Clio and seeing this interior. I can totally see why Renault put in the extra lighting on the Initiale and up above in the back. It looks like a seductive brochure shot every time you get in at night. The ambient lighting is just superb. But I can't accept all the credit. The reason this car looks so good and was presented so well is that a guy before me actually made the link between the owner who was going to scrap it and was determined to see such a car saved. He posted on the Renault Owners Club on Facebook, which is where I saw it, and well, he gave it a description that made it sound like a kitten was about to be put down, and it just kept tugging on my heartstrings, especially when I have a penchant for these things in the first place. So he collected it from Westminster, took it home, machine polished the life out of it, which was great because it got to let me see, you know, what I was really getting and the fact that there was a great car underneath it all. The leather's been conditioned, the carpets were cleaned. He just made it all so effortless, and it's that community of like-minded people that allow missions like this to happen, no matter how difficult the logistics might seem. The support I had on Twitter was just incredible. I mean, I posted a tweet of what I thought would be a joke. Here's Luke going to save a worthless Renault again that no one wants. And the response I got was just phenomenal. It's so nice to see so many people out there that are determined to save little slices of history like this. And it's nice to see that I'm not the only one who thinks that schemes like the ULEZ and congestion charges and all of this green rubbish is robbing cities of little cars like this. I mean, what could be more eco-friendly than a lady who bought a car at a year old 20 years ago, driving it for 20 years? I mean, why should someone like that have to get rid of a car like this for a new car? It's completely contradictory when it comes to saving the planet. Yeah, it's got an unpainted front bumper, a taped up front wing and a slight gearbox issue. But I love this thing. Until next time, little Clio. À bientôt.